What's going on, guys? Philip at Trade Genius. All right, since Iran hit American bases in Iraq, I thought I would give you a Bitcoin update since it has reacted to that. Right now, what we have is a chart of gold up, and as we talked about in the previous Bitcoin video, gold has been leading the moves in Bitcoin, first to the downside and now to the upside. This big move obviously came from when the initial assassination happened, and gold spiked because of the, usually as a safety hedge when geopolitical tensions arise or war is a potential. You'll see that happen. And Bitcoin is following suit, kind of that gold 2.0 role, also as a flight to safety. And so what we're going to talk about in this video is levels that we've hit so far and what we can expect going forward. So let's dive into this video and check out the technicals.
Trade Genius.
Okay, so let's reference the daily chart again, right? So we've had, because of the moves, we've had another buy signal fire, and really that's followed up nicely. Now we've hit the top of this trend line. So this is our big trend line that's been keeping a lid on all of the upside moves. We have not been able to break above that, and as such, the structure continues to be a bearish B wave into a larger ABC move higher. Now in the room, we got long on this because of the escalation in tensions with Iran. So we took this and got out at 8,400 because that was an area, technical area of resistance, and also this trend line running right through that area. So that was a good trade to get in and get out of. What I'm noticing now on this move, we can drill down to a smaller time frame. All right, so this is looking at the hourly chart, and I don't have all the indicators up on here, but just for the sake of getting this video out. So again, reported the assassination kind of kicked off this move along with gold, and then we actually looked to short this area here. We took a short on this, and the reason for that is because this was an area that we had an old weekly level at, and it was looking for this to fade and was starting to give way. Then the Iranian missile strike hit, so closed that, flipped long, and got this nice move up to that 8,400 trend line area. So that move's completed. Now what's interesting about this move is we've got a RSI bearish divergence, and our Stokes are starting to cross over and down. And what'll be key is if we get this stochastic, this main thick stochastic line to roll over, I think this is going to be a larger correction than these smaller ones that we've seen, these dips down. In fact, the structure here is actually like a parabolic blow-off type structure where you have several bases. You could count 4 bases in here, and then a final thrust up. So we could very well have seen the top of this move, but the caveat would be is if there is any more retaliation and this thing does escalate, this is just going to continue to rip higher. Okay, so just that's the caveat here. Otherwise, structurally, if this thing is left to kind of play out technically, this looks like a big candidate for a top right now, and then this pulls back, which statistically, this point in January is very bearish, more often than not. And then this subsequent move again would be your final discount for Bitcoin, and then it starts to grind higher into the halving. Now, if we take a look at the Delta chart, right? So this says to go long or short based on what the futures are doing, how the futures are being bought up. And what's kind of interesting with this move, guys, is where the future Delta isn't really playing along. In fact, we're just now getting a color change. Now, normally on a move like this, you would expect then to be buying up the futures, and we're not getting that. So this is a bearish indication as well that this move could face a pullback. Now, as with all of these moves, your first area of interest is going to be this faster moving average, which is at 78.78. But we're going to come back, and the price is going to meet up with the WMA 65, which is the 2 levels I like to look at initially when we get into these conditions. All right, so now normally what happens is when we flip to a short signal, which means sell the rips, I prefer to see that when we're in under the moving averages like this. So we're kind of upside down for this setup, but this does say that, if you look at the Delta is not really playing along. So unless this kicks back up and this turns back to a bullish mode, and which tells us it's safe to buy the dips, we want to be careful. I think this is getting bearish though here, especially if nothing happens on the retaliation side from the US. Then I think things are going to return to the mean, which means we'll probably see price come down off quite a bit on Bitcoin, as well as gold for that matter. So that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, Obviously, if there's more war retaliation, this is going to continue to pump regardless of the technicals, regardless of how overbought it is. It's just going to probably be the case. Otherwise, if things cool off and we don't get anything, we don't get any kind of escalation, I expect this to come off. And don't be surprised if a lot of this move up from this point here gets retraced. I could see where price would bounce off between the 74 and 7,500 area and get an initial bounce off of that retracement. And then we'll see how price reacts from there. But this can come off pretty quickly here, especially if things cool off. So just keep that in mind. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Appreciate you guys watching. Hope that helps. If it does, please hit like and subscribe. Really helps out our channel. I will see you on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.
Trade genius.